Welcome back. We brought the Pondlilly root in town. We're gonna get it ready today. I'm gonna show you a couple of ways of doing it. So once we get it in town, it's nice and dry, corky like. Get a really sharp knife, and then you start slicing it. And this is the middle grade where we're gonna get some really white stuff, and we're gonna get some darker stuff as well. You have to try to make it so it's as even as possible, and you're gonna cut it, and it's hard to get the consistency because you'll see this side is thicker than that side. But you need to get it as consistent as you can, so on the string it'll dry evenly through that process. And then you just do it all one at a time. You're cutting it in, and that's once again important to make sure you have a really good sharp knife, right? And this seems like a lot that we got here, but we're handing it out as well. Never ever over harvest, and never take more than what you need individually. So for myself personally, for external use and internal use to get me through the whole summer, especially because I was born with a hole in my heart, I gotta make sure my heart is really strong. I'm gonna need that little bit more. I would probably need just this one, number 1 grade, and maybe a couple of these. That'll get me through the whole year of using it externally. And when we're doing it externally, what we're doing is, if I had bone cancer, if I had swollen ankle, or whatever the case may be, is I would rehydrate these after they get dry, because we're going to dry them first. We would rehydrate them in boiling water. They're going to swell back up. I would put it on my ankle, wrap that with saran wrap so that the pores open up, because this is going to be warm. And then from saran wrap, wrap it again with tensor bandage, and then let it sit with elevated for 45 minutes. If it was my elbow, well, then I wouldn't be walking around, depending where it is and depending where your bone cancer is. And then within 45 minutes, take it off. What I've seen and noticed hugely is the swelling will go down. And when you have broken bones and it's not healing properly, this stuff speeds the process up really fast. So you have to be careful. If you're going to use this and your bone is not set right, it's going to set and it'll heal the way it is. So make sure your bone's set properly first. Now, the new fancy way that we have for its evener is just over here. And we got a beautiful meat slicer, right? And so with the meat slicer, you get a way more consistent cut. And it's a lot faster. So when I'm cutting these, for the external ones, I'm going to cut them fairly thick. For the internal ones, I'll cut them a lot thinner so that I can grind them up, or else I'll break them off when they're dry, because that's all you really need every day. That's it. You're lucky to, like, that's a lot when it's dry, and you just put it in and eat it, and your ticker will go strong for a long time. Now, once we get it all cut from here, we're going to string them on. And what we've done here is we use a darning needle, some string, we stack them all together, and when we're doing that, we try to use, get them about the same size so the string's drying evenly. Once you stack a whole bunch together like that, then you stick your needle through. It could be a darning needle or anything. Originally, I used a nail, and I was sticking a nail in one and then sticking the stick through. But over time, you get wiser and smarter. And there you go. So you stick it through there, you pull it on, and then you wind up like that. From here, we're going to dry it, which we're going to go over there. And so you can notice that we have a string on this end. It'll run across to that side. Try not getting the string too long, because you'll get a big bowl where all the pond lily will start sliding to the middle. And so once we get our string ready to go, all of that on it, then we spread it apart. And I usually, on average, what I do is it's finger length, right? So when I'm spreading these out like that, I'm basically just going like this, using my fingers for finger space. And it's pretty good average, or odds that you're gonna not touch any of it. You can't have any of it touching. Wherever it touches, you're gonna wind up with mold, and you don't want to get mold on there at all. When we're doing this now, see this, the way that that's clucked together? Well, I gotta go like that now. Just get it apart a little bit. Now tomorrow when they're drying, they're gonna start folding in on each other, so I gotta check it again tomorrow. And then I gotta check it in the afternoon. Then I gotta check it in the evening. And a lot of the checking is you being present with your medicine. And the medicine seeing you being present and showing your commitment to it, so that it shows the commitment back to you by sharing its magical powers, spiritual powers, and healing powers, right? And then so once this is all dried out, you're gonna have different colors, and we're gonna go over here where we already have one dried out. And this one here was early, it was an early batch. So it all wound up being brown. So all this is going to be external use only, right? And so you'll notice that they're a lot smaller now, because when they dry up, they shrink right down, right? And so what happens is when they're dry and you break them open, you'll see that they're still fresh in the middle. They may look ugly on the outside, but the medicine in it is beautiful. It's just like human nature. You learn so much from plant medicine on how to deal with humans as well, because the outside has nothing to do with what's actually on the inside, right? And so when you rehydrate that, it's going to swell right up again, right? And I believe that's it for now. And remember, laughter is the best medicine, and always show respect when gathering medicines. Have a great day.